So it's time to get those fall crops started. And with the spaghetti squash bed now empty, since that I had a bad crop of that with mold and parasites, I now have that empty and ready to get prepared for another crop. Probably not going to do core gardening with it. I'm not really sure. I'm out of hay. I might just do that one regular again, especially as we're coming out of the summer months. Rain issues and the heat shouldn't be a problem. Still have a couple months of it, and then the cucumber bed, of course, has been cleared, and I need to get that soil mixed and mulched. And I'm not sure what I'm going to put here. Although I might do tomatoes again, even though I have tomatoes over there with the okra. I still might put tomatoes in here as well. And then the Swiss chard, of course, is doing well, so I'm going to let that continue to do its thing and brainstorm ideas of what I'm going to put in more of these PVC arrangements. But that is a lot on the plate for today, so I think realistically these beds will not be touched today. And the only thing I should reasonably have time to do are these 3 beds. I also have string beans to harvest from the front yard. And as an interesting side note, there is a surprise down in the tomatoes. Looks like 2 golf ball sized tomatoes. Did not expect them this soon, but with all the rain we've had, the tomato okra bed is thriving. And the bad news, my cantaloupes have suffered the same parasite. That one is about the size of an elongated baseball, and it is full of caterpillars, as well as others in this bed. However, it's interesting how some things obvious sit right under your nose, like those tomatoes. And this cantaloupe, which is the size of 2 softballs. I've looked in this bed every day for the past couple of months, and I did not see this thing. So it looks like it might have a wormhole in the side also. What a disaster. We'll check that one out here in a second. And here are the casualties. Sad to see. So my first crop of cantaloupes. So promising, but riddled with caterpillars. That shows what just a little bit of lack of attention will do. You have to stay on top of it, because nature will take advantage.
Well, I'm looking at the beans and trying to find some.
The string bean plants are very, very tall, and it is time to pick them. There's a good example. Shows you how big some of these beans are. And they are all over the place. Look at that big one there. Shaped like a J, with all the leaves around it. And Marley is going to pick beans while I continue to clear out the brush from that corner. It's coming along really well. So here is our yield. How many do we have there, Marley?
Almost 1 million.
almost 1,000,000 string beans, and they look pretty good here. Here's some of the I think a couple of the bigger ones right here. Show you for comparison. Whoop. This one's shaped like a C. Yeah, here's some of the bigger ones. That one there is pretty large. Different varieties, of course. And then these here, what are these? These are all dried up. What are these, Marley?
Seeds.
Okay, this one was dried up, so Marley's going to plant these in her garden. Thought that was a good idea. So yeah, so that's a pretty good yield there for our first crop of beans. And there's still a bunch of little ones on there that we're gonna let mature a little bit more before picking those. But there they are. And it's the middle of July, and this is some of the things we've picked in the last couple days. Have some cabbages, eggplant, and okra. And for size comparison, these two are probably the fattest okra I picked, and these three look like the longest. Some of these are probably going to be tough, but I'll boil them up. I've harvested okra out of our garden before, and they picked them a little late, so they're a little bit big. They get a little bit woody, but I boiled them really well, and they turned out fine. I also pickled a batch, and they were fine as well. And then the eggplants, this is one of the larger ones. This one here is a really oddly shaped one, but. And then the cabbages, about a third of the cabbages started rotting. I think I picked them a little bit late. I expected them to be a little bit bigger than they were, but this is the biggest one here. But these little ones here, even though they're little, they look really good. So we'll see how they boil up. So it's another little update of our garden harvest. So about a week after that last harvest, here's a few bonus items I found today. 3 more eggplant, some more green beans, some baby tomatillos. The okra is what amazes me. These things are big. These are the 2 longest ones. These are the 2 fattest ones.